Addiction specialist Nirmala Raniga has spent over 2 decades helping people overcome their addictions. 5 years ago, she teamed up with Deepak Chopra and founded the Chopra Addiction and Wellness Center in BC. They developed a program that focuses on holistic ways to overcome addiction. The treatment includes art therapy, a vegetarian diet, and regular massages. And she joins us now. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Thank you for being here. I'm wondering, you know, we hear so much about addiction and the means of treating it, and one of the things we hear the most is about a 12-step program, and that's how you get better. And so would you call this Ayurvedic or holistic, or what kind of?
We actually call it an integrated way of healing.
Okay.
So you mentioned 12-step. 12-step is a tool, and if you look at the history, millions of people have benefited from the 12-step programs. What we have done is we've included all this in our services, meaning that not only 12-step, you need to do emotional healing. So we have therapists who do group work and individual work. Plus we use the philosophy, Eastern philosophy, and including Ayurveda, which is healing the body. So it's not just stopping to use drugs or substances or alcohol, but the body has to heal.
You mentioned stopping the use of, drugs or alcohol or substances, and a lot of people usually resort to these forms of, I guess, bodily harm because of something mental. Something is bothering them, and there's some deep emotion, something deep rooted in them. And a big part of your healing is through yoga and meditation. How hard is it for some people to tap into their brain, quiet their brain, and actually find that cause, that thing that's causing them to do this?
Well, yoga and meditation are, again, tools of healing. And when we think of yoga, we think in the West as the yoga practice you do in the gym or in a studio. Yoga actually means union of body, mind, and spirit. And the practice of yoga at the center is allowing yourself to be with your body and being able to breathe. And meditation is another tool where we have close to 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. An average person, that's the thought process. There's a lot going on in our minds. And what meditation allows us to do is to stop briefly the thought process. We are either in the past or in the future. And that's where, when you think about depression is all about the past, and anxiety is all about the future. And what meditation does is brings you in the present moment awareness, so you're making healthy, conscious choices.
And is there a lower rate, say, of relapse by mixing the traditional step program with this meditation, with your program, versus if you're just doing the steps? Like, some people are like, I don't need to do all that meditation, the step program is fine. Is there anything where it's like, oh, there's a higher rate of success for alcoholics or drug addicts?
I can confidently say that this model of healing allows the person to have more awareness and more tools, so the risk of relapse is less. We find when we contact our guests, our former guests from the center, one of the feedback we get from them is that the reason they have relapsed or they have stopped meditating, and those who are continuing to meditate actually do well on the program.
How does food play into it?
Often when you see people who are addicted or not well, emotionally unwell, they actually are not eating healthy. And so food is an important component of healing. Often we also do emotional eating, where we are eating foods just for comfort. And at the center, guests learn about healthy ways of eating, where we include the 6 tastes. Often in the West, we only think about the salt, sour, sugar. So those are the tastes we think about. But when you look at the 6 tastes, it also includes bitter, astringent, and pungent, which is that's what our body needs. And of course, the 7 colors, including all colors of food. So when you look at your meal, it's very appetizing and nourishing.
Colorful as well. Now
That's
tell me
right.
this, when you met up with Deepak Chopra 5 years ago, you teamed up with him and formed this Addiction and Wellness Center. What was it like when you first met him, and what was that conversation like forming this center?
Well, this goes back 2007. I was at Seduction of Spirit, which is here in Toronto. This was in Whistler. And I was setting up a residential treatment center at that time. And over the years, I was watching his programming, and I've been working in addictions for now 25 years. When creating this center, I wanted a holistic center which integrated the Eastern philosophies and not just about stopping just a clinical program. And so with doing this, and I went with that intention that if I'm at this event and if I meet him, I want him to be part of my program. And so I went with that intention. So when you pay attention to your intention, it does manifest. And so at that event, when we met, he asked me what I was doing. And I said I was working in the field of addiction. And he just said that he was interested. They were writing the book Freedom from Addiction. That's part of our curriculum. And so that was the conversation, and that's the journey of our relationship. Is just that conversation about combining the Eastern philosophy with the clinical integrated healing. And Chopra Center, actually, they were looking to partner with somebody who was doing this kind of work. And so it's been a beautiful relationship.
Well, thank you so much for being here, Nirmala, Raniga, and again, the Deepak Chopra Seduction of Spirit Global Meditation event is happening this week in Toronto at the Westin Harbour Castle. Very nice to meet you.
Thank you very much. And I just wanted to say this afternoon I'll be speaking at the Chopra Seduction of Spirit event on addiction.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me this morning.